So welcome to our morning practice at Platinum Spa. Take a deep inhale breath and slow full exhale. We'll come into easy sitting position and bring your hands into your heart center. And as we pause and we just let ourselves settle into this space where we are right now, not what happened earlier or what's going to happen later. Take a deep inhale breath and feel yourself sit taller. And then slowly let's exhale and just begin to bow forward. Feel into the sensation of the hips, the legs. Let the head drop towards your fingers. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back up. We'll pause there and then inhale, let the arms reach up tall. Stretching upward and then let the arms come back by your ears. And then slowly we'll just let the arms reach wide all the way back down, palms come down to the earth. Inhale, we'll bring your right arm up and then exhale, take a little side bend. Take another breath and then slowly sweep back across and all the way down. Letting that hand fall to the earth as we take side two up and inhale. Exhale, we'll take it to the side. And then all the way back up, pausing there. And let's come into a twist and just let yourself kind of take the arms around, turning and twisting the shoulders. Take that deep breath to inhale and exhale. And slowly coming back to center, and we'll slowly make our way twisting to that other side. And just sitting for a moment, taking another breath. And then back to the center. Pausing here. Place your hands in front of you. Begin to slide the hands forward. Again, just feeling into that sensation of leaning forward out of the hips. If the hips are tight this morning. Take a breath. And then slowly we'll walk your hands back in. We'll take that big sweeping inhale, let the arms reach out wide and all the way up. And then exhale down the midline of the body. And then slowly we'll come forward. As we come forward, we'll roll over into table onto your hands and knees. Now you can choose any other way that gets you over there. That's fine, right? It's morning. Sometimes things aren't quite open. So tuck your toes under you, wiggle those toes open, and begin to press back gently into your hips where you feel the long arch of the foot and the toes. And then slowly we'll come all the way back into center. We'll take your left leg out back, tuck the toes under you, roll back, press through the heel. And then slowly bring that knee in under you. And as we come into side two, stretch that right leg back, tuck the toe under you, push back into the heel. Deep breath in and out. And then slowly the knee will come under. And then gently begin to take the knees a little wider and sit back into child's pose. We'll let the forehead come down slowly to the mat and reach your arms forward. Take a deep inhale breath. And then exhale. Feel into the breath as it widens the rib cage. And as you exhale, and it creates it to narrow. Take another breath. And then with the next, bring yourself back into table as we come back up. Take a little cat and a cow right here. So let that back sink down and inhale as you gaze forward. And then exhale, rounding through the spine. Kind of like you were moving a slinky. Your spine like that slinky, arching and flexing. And then come to a neutral position. We'll pause there. And we'll take your left arm out to the side. Just reach it wide and then glide it under you, threading the needle as you bring the side of the head down. Take that deep inhale and exhale there. And then begin to walk your right hand out towards the front edge of the mat. And as you walk out, can you slide your right foot back? Tucking that toe under you. And then slowly bringing the knee in. As you slide your right heel back in. And then let that left hand come all the way back out. Take it out to the side, just parallel to the floor. And then bringing it back under you. We'll pause there. Sit back into child's pose. Deep inhale to exhale, sitting back deeper. Take another breath here. And then one more. Feel the spine lengthen. Slowly inhale yourself all the way back up. Tuck your toes under you. Let the toes reach open wide. And then slowly we'll take that Right foot back, tuck the toe under, push back into the heel. And then let the knee come in. And we'll take your right arm out to the side, reaching it wide, and then threading the needle as you thread it under you, rotating that right side of the head downward to the mat, and the left hand will walk out. And as that left hand walks out, you let that left leg extend back with the toes tucked under you. Take a deep inhale, exhale. Notice the position of your head, your shoulder. Breathing into it, and then slowly letting the knee come back to the mat and the hands slide in. Bringing your right arm straight out to the side again, and then back under you. From here, we'll walk your hands forward, coming into puppy. So when you walk your hands forward, the knees stay under you, and we'll push your tailbone upright. Let your head gently come down between your arms. Take that deep inhale and exhale. The forehead may come to the mat beneath you. Pressing back into your hips. Tailbone turning up. You feel the heel of the hand pushing the mat fibers just like in down dog. And then pausing there. Lift yourself, lower the elbows. Bring your belly forward, tuck your toes, and lower yourself into Sphinx position. And we'll pause in Sphinx position as we gaze forward, taking that deep inhale and slow full exhale. And then we're going to roll to your right side. So let your right arm just kind of pivot across the mat as you roll to your right hip. We'll let the legs bend at the knees, coming in. And then slowly let the legs come all the way back out nice and straight. They might be on a slight diagonal forward. And right there, let your right side just kind of drop down into the mat. Yeah, so maybe you feel that right shoulder coming up towards your ear, right? I'm always telling you not to do that, yeah? But now we're more about the side. So think about that side body. You may feel a nice little stretch right there. And then reach that left arm up. And now do just the opposite. And like as if you were pulling yourself up with your left arm, you feel yourself grow tall out of that right arm. And then slowly let that rib cage, so the rib cage is kind of like dragging downward. And then the rib cage lifts up, and you'll pause there. So lifting through that rib cage. And then slowly all the way back down, just a nice subtle little stretch. Slowly come over to both elbows, back to Sphinx. Sphinx was always an interesting word. It's like, get a little tongue-tied there with that. Take a deep inhale, exhale, let the hips go. And then from here, let's come to the other side. So you'll let that arm come across. As you roll yourself to your side, you're welcome to bend your knees in, maybe just giving yourself a moment right there, and then taking the legs back out. The legs may be on a slight forward diagonal. And then let that left rib cage sink down. So that way your shoulder is in your ear. And just feeling into the side body. And as I always say, you may notice something different in one side to the other. Then we'll reach that arm up and then just lift up out of that rib cage. So your rib cage feels like it's sliding upward. Actually, you're bringing it back into neutral, and then you're letting it become lazy and letting it sink down in, but you can feel that movement. Slowly we'll bring the hand down and you'll roll back over into Sphinx. In Sphinx, we'll pause, take a deep inhale and exhale. And then tuck your toes under you. Lower yourself to the mat, cross your arms and put your forehead on your hands. As you tuck your toes in, walk them in under you as far as you can get them. And then tighten the quad muscle so you pull the knee up off the mat. Feeling into that sensation, and then slowly release the quad muscle. Again, your toes stay tucked. Take a deep inhale, breath, exhale, lift that knee, push back into the heels, and then slowly back down. We'll do one more, just press upward, lifting the knees, tightening, and then slowly release back down. Pausing there, we'll take and bring your arms out. And from here, lift the right arm and the left leg. Inhale up, exhale, lower down. Side two, inhale, lift up, exhale, lower down. Can you lift all four? Inhale, rise up, exhale, lower. Bring the hands in under you. Come into your child's pose. So your knees will come under, you'll sit back. Taking that deep stretch, forehead to the mat, deep inhale and exhale. And fingers reaching long, pressing the tips of the fingers in. Lift yourself up, tuck your toes under you. Rise into down dog, finding your first down dog as you press back into your heels. Taking that deep inhale and exhale, maybe you slide your feet in a little closer because that Achilles tendon or the back of the hamstrings might be a little tight this morning. Let the head drop between your arms. Take another breath. As we spend maybe about 5 breaths here, deep inhale, slow, full exhale. And then bringing your knees back to the mat, right knee will come down, left foot will step forward. And as we come into our low lunge, we'll rise up, sweeping the arms out, all the way up, and then pushing the hips forward as you reach back. Deep inhale, breath to exhale. And then slowly, hands will come into your heart center. Pausing there, take the arms out wide. And then we'll revolve, bringing that right hand down in as the left arm reaches up. Take a deep breath here again. Exhale. Take another inhale, then exhale the hand to the mat. Begin to walk your hands back, coming into that half split. So we'll pause right here, reaching your toes downward, pulling back through the long bone of the hip, and then maybe pull back a little more and let the toes rise. Straighten the legs, straighten your spine. Maybe you're on your fingertips, and then slowly let the toes reach forward. Let the toes lift. Let them reach. And then walk your hands back forward. Take that leg all the way back through, straight behind you as you come into spine balance with the right arm reaching forward. We'll pause there, take a deep inhale, exhale the hand down. Bring that leg across, little toe side drops to the floor. Take a deep breath, and as you say, let that hip drop. Pausing there, take another breath. And then slowly we'll bring that knee in under you. Take a cat and a cow right here. Again, just kind of rolling through that spine, using your breath to move. And then find your down dog, tuck your toes. Come into your down dog, press down into your heels. Notice if the heels are becoming a little more flexible. Push back into your hips, take another breath. And yet another. And then slowly we'll bring the knees to the mat as we step your side to right foot forward to find our low lunge position. Arms reach out wide and lift up. As we lean back, and we'll take that deep inhale and exhale as we gaze up through the hands. Take another deep breath, inhale, we'll exhale again. And then slowly hands will come down the midline. As we reach the arms wide out to the side, we'll bend forward and revolve. Left hand comes in by the right foot as your right arm reaches up. Take a few breaths to deep inhale and exhale. And then bringing that right hand down to the mat. Begin to walk your hips. Set your hips back. Walking the hands back. Pausing there. And then maybe pulling back through that long bone of the leg, letting the toes rise. And letting them fall again down to the mat. And just kind of with that ankle, but feeling into the length of the leg. And as we walk the hands forward, we'll slide your right leg through to find spine balance. Left arm reaches forward. Deep breath, inhale, exhale. And then slowly hand will come back to the mat. We can take a little cat and a cow here, rounding up and down. And then tucking your toes, spine is in neutral, and coming into down dog. As we make our way into down dog, taking that deep inhale and exhale there. Begin to walk your feet forward, right, left, right, left. Or if you're left-handed, left, right, whichever works. And as we get forward and we come into Uttasana, forward fold, grab your elbows, hang in ragdoll. Notice your knees are slightly soft, and you feel the weight of the upper body leaning forward. Take another deep inhale, breath, exhale. And then see if you can straighten the knees. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale. Pausing there. And let the arms dangle down. Inhale to a half lift. Straighten the legs. Lift the back parallel. Exhale, let yourself float downward. Softening into your knees. Let your arms reach wide. Roll up through the spine. Sweeping wide and all the way up. Into Tadasana, palms together as we lean back. And then we'll center. Exhale your hands at your heart. Take another deep breath. We'll inhale to reach up tall. Leaning back as we exhale. And then centering, and we'll swan dive the arms out forward. We'll step your feet back into plank. From plank, we can lower your knees to the mat. We can take and bring the hips down so that the elbows bend. Drop the pelvis to the mat, come into that cobra, and then slowly come all the way back down to the mat. And pause here, take a deep inhale breath and exhale. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the knees. And then slowly let the knees come back down. Take your arms all the way out. Inhale, float all four up. Exhale, lower down. Hands will come back in. Press yourself into child's pose as you push up and back. Taking that deep inhale and exhale there. Maybe sit back a little heavier, letting your arms drag like you were lengthening them on the mat. Take another deep breath. And then slowly coming back into table. Coming into table, hands will be under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Tuck your toes. Begin to come into down dog as you press back and down through the heels. Take that deep inhale and exhale there. And then bringing your right foot back into three-legged dog. Press down through that left foot. So maybe walk that left foot in a little bit to where you can press it down. And then notice the position of that left foot, that it's straight forward. Your knee lines up with the second toe. And then you reach back with the right leg, not higher, but back. So you're pushing your belly against that left leg. And then let's open into sunbird, bending that heel back and letting the knee lift up. Deep breath. And slowly extend the leg. Let the leg lower and step it forward. As we come into finding our high lunge. So as we find our high lunge, finding our balance, lifting all the way up. Take that deep inhale breath. Let yourself sink down. Then leaning back. Taking that deep breath, inhale and exhale. And then goddess arms, palms forward, stretch the fingers. Feel the shoulder blades come down and the chest open. Lean back a little more. And then slowly squeeze the elbows together. Hands at your heart center. Take a deep breath. As we bow forward, let the arms come back to airplane. Pausing there, feeling into the strength of the right leg. Take the arms wide. And then revolve here. Left hand will come down. You'll gaze up that right arm as you bring that wrist to line up over the elbow that lines up over the shoulder. And then slowly bringing that hand down. We'll cross it over as you walk around into wide side fold. Deep inhale breath, let the head hang down, exhale. And right here, inhale to a half lift, a flat back. Maybe you come to your fingertips and you gaze forward. Slowly lower down, reach to your ankles. Let the head drop. And then inhale, let your arms slide up the legs. Come all the way up into star pose. Reaching out wide, open the fingertips. Deep inhale breath there. And then slowly we'll pivot your right foot forward for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2.
Too wide.
I'll anchor you down. Sorry, we had a little funny thing. Deep inhale breath, exhale. Take another inhale, then exhale. Slowly let your right arm and your left arm follow it all the way to the mat. Pivot on that back foot, drop into a low lunge. Slowly right foot slides back. You're in plank, and let's take a vinyasa here. So we'll go lower down, chaturanga, scoop to up dog. And you're always welcome to do child's pose or whatever works for you. And then slowly we'll press back into our down dog, taking that deep inhale and exhale there. into three-legged dog. Maybe step that right foot in a little bit so you can sink down through it. And then rise up through it through the hip. Reaching that left leg back as you push back, pressing your belly towards that right thigh. Take another breath and then sunbird. We'll let that knee fold over to the opposite hip and spin the knee open as you look under that left arm. Deep breath to inhale to exhale. And then slowly extend the leg, hips come parallel. And then you'll step that foot forward, finding our high lunge. So I always say if it doesn't get there, put it there, because now you have to use the strength to rise up. Take that deep inhale breath, exhale as you let yourself sink in and gaze backwards. And as we gaze backwards, and then goddess arms. So lean back a little more, stretch, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hands at our heart. Take another deep breath, and as you begin to bow forward, we feel the strength in the legs, the shifting of the strength. Pressing through the big toe and little toe, bring your arms back. Slowly they come out wide and we'll revolve it. As you bring your right hand to the mat and the left arm, we reach up. Deep inhale breath to exhale. On your next breath, left hand will come down and you'll walk around to that wide-legged fold. Let your head drop down. Take a deep inhale breath, exhale. Maybe you feel your hands are on the mat. Let your elbows soften and bend. Let the weight of the upper body just pull you over as you breathe in and out. And then with your hands right there in the center, bend your right knee so it goes over that second toe, and just let your hips kind of drop, move in that direction. Let your head lift, flat back, and then slowly let those hips pull back up center. So you know our hips are a center of gravity for us, and so bend that left knee right there, and then slowly let the hip go with it. Feel into the alignment of that knee. Can you drop and maybe flat back or parallel to the floor? And then slowly rise all the way up and pause and let your head drop down. Walk your hands through to the other side of the mat. Deep inhale, exhale. And then slide the hands under you, fingertips. Inhale, come into a flat back. Fingertips, and then exhale, let yourself fold. And then bring the arms out wide and inhale, slide up, coming all the way up into star pose. Reaching the arms up high and wide. And then pivot that left heel in as we come into Virabhadrasana, Warrior Two. Taking that deep inhale breath there and exhale, and then we'll slowly let the arms windmill, left arm, right arm over. As we step that left leg all the way back through. And we can go through your vinyasa right here, lower down chaturanga, scoop to up dog. You're welcome to take a child's pose or come right back into down dog. And as we come back into your down dog, we take that inhale and exhale. And then slowly walk the feet to your hands into forward fold. Now inhale halfway up, pause in your halfway lift. Lengthen your neck, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Find that pencil under your armpit, squeeze it. And then slowly let the arms wrap around behind your legs, bringing your head down, gazing at your knees. Your knees may be soft or straight. And then slowly we'll inhale and rise up. Soften the knees, pull the belly in. All the belly muscles coming back up and then wide into Tadasana. We'll lean back. Hands will come into your heart center and we'll pause. And then let's take into a toe heel. So we do a little footwork right there. We'll take your feet wide. And with your feet in that wide position, we'll reach up tall. We'll exhale the arms all the way out, and as they come behind you, we'll begin to roll forward with another exhale. Coming all the way over forward, hands clasped behind you. Let the head just dangle down and your arms reach up. And then feel into the sensation, the pratyahara. Bend your right knee. So again, it glides over that second toe, and begin to rotate your right shoulder towards that knee as you gaze up the left side. Stay here, and we'll take another breath. I can get that out with breathing. Then slowly bring yourself back center, straightening the leg, let yourself drop. And then we'll bend your left knee and you'll rotate that left shoulder towards that left knee as you gaze up the right side. Maybe see if you can move your arms away from your back. If they're resting there, that's fine. And then slowly we'll come back, straight legs, release the arms, find your ankles with your hands. Deep breath, exhale. And then begin to bend the knees as we sit into a low squat position, Malasana. So invite that into the knees nice and slow. We'll bring your elbows inside, your hands into your heart center. And you feel a slight pressing of the elbows and the knees together. And then we'll rise up using the strength of the legs. We'll reach up and we'll lean back. And then centering yourself, bringing your hands into your heart. Taking toe heel, the feet back in, where they're hip width apart. Pausing again with a breath. We'll take a big inhale breath to reach up. And then exhale, sit into chair pose. As we sit, we bring the arms wide and then just circle them right back into your heart center. Sitting back into your hips. Take a deep inhale, exhale, forward fold. And as you fold forward right there, let the hips rise, the head drop. And then inhale, roll all the way up, soften your knees. Come all the way back up. We'll reach the arms wide. And again, sit into chair. We'll circle the arms in and into the heart center. Pausing there. Taking that deep inhale and exhale. Sit back a little more in your hips and then revolve the right elbow into the left knee. As we pause there, and then begin to lift the right heel up. Feel your weight shift heavier into that left foot. And we'll let your right hand come down to the mat. Take that right leg and step it back. Finding that revolved lunge again, left arm reaches up. Deep breath here to inhale and exhale. And then slowly bring the arms out wide as you parallel yourself over that leg. And then rise up. So we kind of reversed our position. Take that deep breath, lean back. Hands will come into our heart center right there. Take another deep breath, and as we exhale, we'll bow forward with the hands to the mat. With the hands at the mat, walk them forward just a little bit. Begin to shift your weight back into that left leg as you let your right leg float upwards. Let the head drop down between the arms as we come into our split. And your split is going to look different from other people's, and that's okay. And then slowly we'll bring that right foot to close to the left one. Standing in forward fold, Uttasana. Inhale halfway up. Pause there and then exhale, let yourself fold and then inhale to rise. As you rise all the way up and reach wide, palms come together and we'll lean back. And then sitting in a chair, take those arms, spread them wide as we sit down. Circle them back into your heart center. And this time we'll take and bend forward, sit back a little deeper. The left hand will come over to your right knee. Begin to lift that heel up. Find your balance and your strength on that right leg as we shift and we slide back. Coming into that revolved, left hand down, right arm reaches up as we gaze upward. Take that deep inhale, exhale. And then slowly we'll let the arms come out parallel, like you're flying. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up. Coming into our lunge. Taking that deep inhale to exhale. And then again, hands will come through your heart center. And as we bow forward, we'll bow forward, bringing the hands to the mat. Step your hands forward just a little. As we come into our split position, letting that left leg lift up as your right leg takes the weight, letting the head drop down. Again, this is your split. And slowly as you let that left leg lower down, we'll step into our forward fold. Inhale halfway. We'll exhale to fold and then inhale to rise up. As we rise all the way up, sweeping the arms up high. Palms together as we lean back. And we'll center yourself, hands at your heart. Take another deep inhale breath. We'll reach up tall. And then exhale to swan dive forward. As we swan dive forward, hands are on the mat. Maybe you're at fingertips, right? So fingertips allows us maybe to move a little better. So again, shift your weight into your right foot. Slide that left leg back. Float that left leg up. Now can you add your right arm reaching out to the side? Could you add your left arm out to the side? And then drop that toe. And as we come into Warrior One, we drop that toe into our Warrior One position. I know that was a big ask, right? A big ask or a big reach, right? Yeah. So anyways, we all made it. Nobody fell on their nose. So we're in our Warrior One. We'll pause there, take that deep breath, let yourself sink into your Warrior One and reach back. And then hands will come into your heart center. And with all our humbleness, we'll bow in humble warrior. Hands will come to the mat, and you'll step together, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale to fold, and then inhale to rise up. Sweep the arms out wide and up high. Palms together, and you'll lean back. And then as we swan dive forward, all the way over to forward fold. Coming into our split, so maybe your fingertips are on the mat. Take your right leg back, lift that right leg up, find that split position. And then slowly, we're gonna take your left arm out to the side since we're in opposites. And now you're feeling into the strength of that left leg. And then your right arm. We can see if your right arm can come to the side as we lower that right toe to the mat. So whatever your sequence may be, I had to drop the toe on that side because my left leg isn't quite as strong as my right leg. But it's all a practice, right? So we keep working on something. And that was a little hard to do, but I kind of thought, well, okay, we need to put this in there. Then we'll bring your hands to your heart center. We'll pause there, take a deep breath, and as we bow forward, humble warrior. Take another breath. We'll take the hands to the mat and you'll let that right foot step together, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Pause and then exhale to fold and then inhale to rise up. Sweep the arms wide and then leaning back into it. Hands will come down to your heart center. We'll pause here, take another deep breath, and as we roll forward, forward fold, we'll step your feet back to plank. And from your plank, just pause there for a moment. Squeeze that pencil under your armpits. Push back into your heels. Rock yourself forward. Push back. So from your toes, you feel yourself push forward and back. And now come into down dog, leading with your hips. As you push the hips up and back, let the head come between the arms. Deep breath to inhale, to exhale. Slowly lower the knees to the mat, take them a little bit wider, and then sit into child's pose. Press your hips back. Take that deep inhale to exhale. And then slowly bring yourself forward. Lower yourself down into that Sphinx position. Slide the elbows down. And we're back here again. Take that deep breath to inhale and exhale. Let go in the hips. And then taking your right arm across, we're going to roll over to our side again. So sometimes I scoot a little bit towards the center to roll to the side. And as you roll to the side, this time bend your knees in. Pause there as we feel that sensation. And then slowly, using your left hand, lower down to the mat. Curl your right hand under you. So I feel like we worked to something that was really challenging. So we're going to do some other things that'll help with our spine and alignment. So we're going to take your left hand, reach your left hand overhead, all the way to the floor, taking that big reach. And then take your left leg and reach it out long on the mat. Let that heel drop down. Take a deep inhale breath there and exhale. So we started with something similar. But now we're going to take a deep inhale breath, and we're going to exhale as you bring your knee towards your nose. And your hand will just glide over to your ankle of that left leg as you hug it in. And then inhale, take it all the way out long again. And then slowly we'll exhale, exhaling nice and, so you got to get a big deep breath, right? And then slowly lengthen it all the way out. So maybe feel into the movement of the hip, the spine, the back, coming all the way back again, one more time, reaching. And then all the way out. Pause there on that length. And then bring your knees back to stack together. Take your right arm and reach it out in front of you. There you go, let your head come down. Now if you have a blanket you want to put under your head or a block, that's okay. If you can find the head in a comfortable place. And then take your left hand and bring it over top of the right one. So now we're completely on our side. And then let that left hand just kind of thread the right arm. As you let it glide to your elbow, the fingertips will come to your elbow of the left hand. So right hand will anchor, left hand will just slide to your shoulder, fingertips, bring it across your chest, and take it all the way out to the other side. So we come into that nice twist. Take a deep inhale breath and exhale there. Let your head rotate, look towards your left arm. And then slowly we'll bring that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then let it slowly come back down to the right arm as you feel yourself come all the way back to where we were. Your head will rotate, your gaze will follow your hand. Right arm stays anchored to the floor, left hand. Fingertips will lightly come to your wrist, to your elbow, to your shoulder, across the collarbone to the left shoulder. And then let it extend all the way out, coming into that twist again, reaching wide. Take a deep inhale breath and exhale there, and then slowly lift that left arm up. Let it come all the way back to the right hand. Once it comes there, we're gonna roll back over to Sphinx. So straighten your legs out, come back over onto your elbows, and we'll pause here. Take that deep inhale breath, exhale, let the belly sink to the mat. And then coming into side two as we shift over, rolling to your side. We did this one earlier, then bend the knees in, lower your head down. We'll pause there. Take that deep breath. And then the right arm will lift up and over, reaching long. Right leg will reach down. Take that deep inhale and exhale right there. And then slowly as you bend your right knee, bringing it towards your right nose and your elbow, and your right arm will come and find that shin of that leg, pulling it in. And then slowly we'll take it all the way back out, lengthening it. And then again, we'll bring it in, exhaling as you come in. So another focus right here is your core muscles, right? So you reach out nice and long. And as you pull in, feel your navel pull in towards your spine, like you are hollowing your arms out. And then slowly we'll take it all the way back out. We'll pause there. And then bend that knee over top of the second one. Let your arms come all the way out. Let your head gently find the mat. Scoot your shoulder under you, whatever needs to happen right there to reposition. Take that deep breath, and as your left hand anchors to the floor, your right hand will bring your fingertips to your wrist, to your elbow, to your shoulder, across the collarbones, to the right shoulder. And then as it extends all the way out, and you turn into that twist. Deep breath to inhale, exhale. And then we'll inhale that right arm up. And exhale it as it comes all the way over. Take another breath, and then we'll let that arm again glide to the elbow, fingertips, elbow, shoulder, across the collarbones, all the way out, coming into that twist. Pausing there. Feel into the sensations that show up, and then inhale, bring that arm up, and we'll exhale, bringing it across. And one last time, we'll let that fingertips trace the left arm to the collarbone, all the way out the right side as you reach out and extend and you find that twist. And then we'll slowly let that arm come up and over. We'll bring your legs out, we'll roll over into Sphinx. And as we come back over into Sphinx right here. And then slowly we'll bring your hands in under you, lower your head down, and then bring yourself into child's pose. We'll take the knees under you, set your hips back, reach the arms forward. Forehead gently to the mat. Take that deep inhale and exhale. Coming into our down dog, we'll tuck your toes. Press back into your heels the last time. Take a deep inhale, exhale. And let's bring your left knee forward. We'll come into a pigeon pose. So now there's several ways we can do pigeon. You can bring that right knee in, right there. And we can pause here, just feel into those sensations. Give it a breath. So give that tension a breath. And then maybe you ease yourself into your elbows. We'll pause there, taking another deep inhale and exhale. And then to exit our pigeon pose, we'll bring your hands in, come back into your down dog, press back. This is our last down dog. And then we'll come into pigeon on our second side. So, however that works for your hips. So again, it's always about the sensation. What your hips need. And then slowly we'll walk your hands in. And we'll come upright. So if you have that leg, just drag it in here. And we'll bring the feet in front of you. And so we'll make a transition where we're sitting in the center of your mat. We'll put your hands behind your knees, and then slowly let yourself come all the way back down onto that mat. And as you lay on the mat, your knees are bent, feet are flat. Feet are about hip width apart. Take a deep breath, exhale, and then let your arms come all the way out nice and wide. Taking another deep breath, let your left leg extend long. And now with your right foot, the sole is flat and your knee is bent, press your foot into the mat. So you're pressing downward into the mat. And then with your knee, it's like you're gonna push your knee forward as it picks your right hip up. So press the foot, right? But let your knee, don't pick your hips up. Keep your left hip down. Okay, so your left hip is going to stay down. What you're going to do with your right knee, it's like as if you're letting it push forward towards me and lifting. I need you in the front and center. Okay, there we go. So now with this, what you're going to do is pull it. No. Don't lift up. Don't lift anything. Just let this knee, yeah, it's a small, subtle movement. Yeah. So you feel that? And then let it drop. Yeah. So now this side stays down, and then you're just going to take it. Don't overlift. You're overthinking. Yeah. Make this knee just pull this much. Yeah. So just think of just a small movement, just like just like that. And it's kind of like this knee is trying to pull towards that big toe. Yeah. It's just a subtle, soft little movement. I know when I first did it too, I was kind of like confused, and I kept trying to think, okay, how do I say this where so it's more or less like as if that right knee is just pulling on a string towards your left big toe, if that sounds right. And you feel that hip just lift up. So you have air underneath your SI joint on that side. And then let it sink back down. So now I want you to do that thing with the leg. Pull that, reach with the knee, but take your right arm up on a high diagonal of your mat. And then reach with your knee and reach with your arm. And then slowly bring the hip back to the mat. Let your arm come into maybe goddess arm, bend the elbow. Take a deep breath and then reach long. Reach with that knee like you're lifting that, just that right SI joint off the mat just enough where it's breathing air, and your right arm is reaching long, and then slowly bring it all the way back down. And we'll do that one more time. Just reach, 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 and then all the way back down. Bring your arms down to your sides. Bring both feet flat. Right here with both feet flat, what I want you to do is just do a little pelvic tilt, like you were taking your tailbone up and you feel your back press the mat. And then in the opposite direction, like we're doing a cat-cow, right? This is an interesting cat-cow. So you let it arch and then press it back down. When I used to teach Pilates, I would tell people that pretend like they had a big plump grape underneath their lumbar spine, right? And that was their arch. And then they get to smash the grape. Right? They smash the grape and then let it, so we'll pretend like it's plastic. So you kind of get the concept of what's happening right there. It's a smaller, subtle movement. And then find that neutral position. Take your right leg out long with the left one foot is flat. Take your arms out wide like a cross. Take a deep breath, and then we'll practice that movement with just the leg. So right there, you're going to just let that left knee push towards your right big toe as you feel that side of your hip lift, and then let it sink back down. So we'll do that again, but this time position your left arm into like a goddess position, and then we'll take in, when you reach with that knee across, just letting that hip float up, reach long with that arm, reaching, and then all the way back, letting the elbow bend again. And this just kind of soothes that fascia. So the fascia kind of runs throughout the body, cross body. So right here as we reach out and we reach, just like you're reaching in opposite directions, but very subtle. And then all the way back, and we'll pause. And then let your arms come down to your sides. We'll slide that right foot back in. And then bring your knees into your chest and give them a little hug. So wrap your arms under that knee bend and just hug, hug, hug in. And then look at the position of your chin, your neck. Let your out shoulders relax. And then if you'd like to make that transition to come into happy baby where we reach to the feet. And then we'll release the feet. Take the feet to the width of the mat. And then lean the knees together. Take a deep breath there. Bring your arms all the way up by your ears. With the knees hugging together, bend the elbows, grab the elbows right there. Take a deep inhale breath and exhale. Release the arms, take them out nice and wide, like a cross. And then let your right knee fall out to the right as your left knee falls in. Breathe into it, exhale it out. And then slowly bring the knees back upright. And to side two. Let the right knee fall in towards your left foot. Left knee falls out from the mat. Slowly the knees will come all the way back together. Walk your feet in. Lengthen your legs all the way out. Bring your arms back up by your ears. Cross them, reaching to your elbows. Notice which arm is on top. So if your right one is kind of top of the left, walk your feet over to your right side. So slide your heels over there, but your hips stay flat and level. Come into banana pose. Take and bring your upper body, just kind of inch it over there, but still again you're open to the ceiling. So your hips to your shoulders are open, but you're like a banana shape. And then we can take the right foot and cross it over that left ankle. And just feel into that side body stretch. And then we'll slowly take that deep breath in and out. And then we'll move out of it nice and slow. Uncrossing, bring your legs back center. So now recross your arms and see if that left one can go on top, right? And don't think about that too hard, because I know I was kind of got myself confused the first time. So it's okay. I've been there. Take that left leg over to the side, bring that right leg to it, and then again try to create that banana shape. So bending over to the side. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could have one of those cameras that they use on the football, you know, so it could go over top and then you could see exactly what I'm doing, right? And then we'll take that left leg over. I don't know why these weird things go through my mind sometimes when I'm calming down. My creative mind takes over, right? I'm trying to think of how could this, you know, you can see this, but it's a banana shape. And then we'll slowly move out of it, coming back center. Right there, maybe just twitch the hips a little bit, let the feet fall open, just wiggle, and then release your arms out wide like a cross. Take that deep inhale and exhale. Bend your arms into goddess pose against the floor. Maybe feel into where there's tension. Can you breathe into it, let go? And then slowly let the arms come all the way down to your sides. As the arms come down to your sides, you'll close your eyes and just take a few minutes for yourself. Just really noticing the breath. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling. Breathe in a little deeper. Pause with the breath. Exhale the breath. Let the mind float inward with the breath as you breathe in. Exhale and release any tension. Taking in yet another breath. And letting go. Slide the feet in, knees are bent. Roll your knees over to the side, come into fetal pose, just nice and easy. And from our fetal position, help yourself back up, and we'll return to our easy sitting position. As we return to our easy sitting position, take that deep inhale breath. We'll bring your palms upright, thumb and index finger together. Take a deep breath and then exhale the breath. And then slowly, as you take your arms out wide and your gaze lifts up overhead, bringing the hands together. And then as the hands come down, pause in front of your forehead. Deep breath where we see with clarity. Bring the hands in front of the chin, the jaw, the throat. Where we speak mindfully. And then in front of the heart center, where we feel gratitude. And with your next breath, may the energy of your practice be with you today, and namaste. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back Tuesdays and Thursdays.